It's Talk Point again on Lagos Television, and we're very happy that you can also join us. My name is Omololu Rosonwo. Today on Talk Point, we'll be looking at human rights, challenges, and the way forward. There are quite a whole lot of issues that surrounds the rights of individuals abroad and also in Nigeria and everywhere in the world. In 1948, the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights empowers all. As long as you are a human being, you have the right to life, you have the right to association. And in Nigeria too, as long as you're born or you stay in Nigeria, the 1999 Constitution, which we presently operate, gives right to association, gives right to freedom of movement, gives right to speech, freedom of speech, and dignity for humans amongst others. There are, however, some challenges of human rights and its abuses and a whole lot of things. So that's what we'll be looking at today on Talk Point. And I have two people that will be discussing that with me. In the studio here, I have a legal practitioner. His name is Celestine Nabuike Ilo. Celestine, nice to have you on Talk Point.
It's a pleasure being in the house. Thank you for even getting that name correctly.
Oh, yes. I'm a Nigerian. Yes. And also joining us via Zoom, I have the president of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights in the person of Comrade Debo Adenino. Comrade, nice to have you on Talk Point.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, my introduction speaks to a whole lot of issues that has to do with human rights, the right to freedom, the right to association, the right to move, and the right to also be able to ask for things when necessary to ensure transparency and accountability. But in your own perspective, what do you understand by the word human rights? Can you put it in proper perspective to us?
Well, thank you very much. You have made the correct introduction as enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations Organization in 1948. There are an array of human rights that the world over, state parties were meant to create local laws that will implement what we have on United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. The greatest of all is the right to life. Because if the right to life is removed, it means that there won't be any means of enjoying all other rights. The right to personal liberty, the right to dignity of persons, the right to conscience. You hold a conscience, you have the right to determine what religion you want to adhere to, and you have the right to hold opinion and propagate the same thing. You have the right to associate with whoever you choose, and the right to peaceful assembly, the right to privacy. People cannot just box into your house without warrant, without any good reason to want to search upon your person, upon your electronic media, gadget, and so on and so forth. You have the right to freedom of thought and expressing same and propagating same. I talked about the right to peaceful assembly. You can assemble, you can hold meetings, you can discuss your affairs, you can discuss affairs of your country. You have the right to participate in the governance of your own country. You have the right of thought, right of expression, right to movement. You mentioned it the other time. Right against discrimination on the basis of maybe religion, ethnicity, or any other primordial consideration. Nobody has the right to discriminate against you. Once you are a member of a society, and when it was discovered that UN declaration was not intended with what we practice, our practices, our culture, our consciousness in Africa. We came up, the OAU came up with African Charter on Human and People's Rights with a view to protect our cultural rights, socio-cultural rights. Unfortunately, our constitution doesn't protect these rights adequately. Even the fundamental rights are nowhere protected, not to talk of socio-economic rights.
Okay, comrade, let me just hold your thoughts a little there. Let me come to the studio here to talk to our guest here in the studio. I'll still come back to you. Celestine, you heard what Comrade Debo Adenino said there concerning rights of individuals, right from all over the globe and also in Nigeria. As a legal practitioner, what is your own perspective to this?
For me, he have done justice to the introduction of the subject matter, and I don't think there's anything lacking in that regard. He nipped it in the bud, and I think I can take it off from here in that regard. Well, as far as Nigeria is concerned, I can say that fundamental human rights are under assault. They're under assault. These laws are known. For us, it's not supposed to be only a constitutional issue. It's not supposed to be a law court activity. It's not supposed to be all about holding some symposiums. It's supposed to be our daily lifestyle. That's what I see as fundamental human rights, because it's all about doing what you don't do unto others what you don't want to be done to you. That's human rights. So now, when you violate it, and it's not devil, it's not demons, it's not a spirit that violates this law. It's human beings that violate the law. When you talk of what law and conflict have caused in the country, you can see the fundamental problem we have now is security issue. And you can see it's as a result of wickedness. Because if you look at what even brought about fundamental human rights, it was at the eve of the Second World War. The United Nations looked at it that they want to change the situation, what the horror of war have brought into the system. They don't want to allow the horror of war to destroy the sanctity of humanity. So they want to restore dignity in humanity. So that's why this convention we're talking about came on board. And as Declaration of Universal Rights was introduced, we are in nation states. We are called upon to, we are invited to and advised to replicate what it's up to 60-something declarations. In the Nigerian context, I don't think we are even implemented up to 16. But the declaration we are talking about is more than 60-something declarations on human rights. So there are areas we are not even talking about, like the right to shelter. But let me just dwell on what we are talking about here. That's why I said, as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is like we are assaulting fundamental rights of people. It's not implemented in Nigeria as far as I'm concerned, because when you look at the bodies that are supposed to champion it, I don't know whether they're sleeping on duty. I don't know whether there is lack of fund or whatever. You can see on daily basis, as you are moving around, you see violation of rights. And Nigerians don't know anything about it. It's supposed to be a daily lifestyle, wherein people understand that this is wrong, this is right. But in a situation where we have found ourselves, the Boko Haram in the north is not helping matters. The unknown government in the south is not helping matters. So the headers, farmers clash is not helping matters. Every day people's rights are being violated in Nigeria. The police on the roads are not helping matters too. The customs everybody is just treading upon everybody's right, and nobody's talking anything about it. And the impunity is the order of the day. Nobody cares about the system. So it is a systematic failure. And any right-taking person should be asking himself, what is the way forward?
Okay, let me come to Comrade Debo Adeniro in the studio via Zoom. Comrade, from what the studio guest is saying here, do you agree with him? And if you agree with him, what do you think is the way out of it? As CDHR, the president of CDHR, what are you doing in collaboration with probably the National Human Rights Commission and others to enforce the rights of every Nigerian?
Thank you very much. I agree with him totally, because everywhere you go, rights of people are being violated. Right to human dignity is as if it's not recognized. If you go to any police station, in fact, the policemen will treat you as if you are guilty already until you prove the opposite. And that is not what they ought to be doing. Policemen are non-military. They should be made to realize that they are supposed to be more civil than the military. They should treat people with dignity. They should treat citizens as their employers. They should listen to them. They should truly be people's friend. They should guide people where they are faltering. They should help them not to implicate themselves in cases where they are not supposed to be guilty. And any matter that does not concern the police, like situation of debt collection, land matters, all those other civil cases, they should not, poke nose into it. They should advise whoever came to them that it is not a matter for the police. They should settle for them in the alternative dispute resolution fora. So basically, there are a number of things that the Human Rights Commission of Nigeria should do, but they seem to be impervious to correction. Recently, a number of Nigerians tried to hold peaceful assembly, peaceful protests. They were not allowed. When they were not allowed, it means their right to movement has been curtailed. Right to association has been curtailed. Right to expression has been curtailed. Right to fair hearing has also been removed.
Comrade,
this is not fair.
Comrade, let me ask you something. Yeah. Let me just interject a little. You'll still continue. Could it be as a result of some of the experiences in the past where government properties were destroyed, people were killed? When you look at what happened some 5 years back, 4 or 5 years back, could it be as a result of that? That's why the government is skeptical about allowing another set of protests to happen. Could that be?
It couldn't have been, because the reason why we employ policemen, train them, and equip them adequately with intellectual instruments and physical instruments of coercion is for them to be able to curtail, to be able to nip such violent approach in the bud before they happen. They ought to have preempted those who wanted to foment trouble. That's why we not only have uniform policemen, there are secret policemen. They should have gathered adequate intelligence. Then we have the underground ones, the DSS, the SSS, all of them. Then several means of getting information that could lead to destruction of peaceful atmosphere in the society could have been gathered before then. So basically, it is their duty to ensure that they do not allow anybody to carry weapons that could cause damages to public property. When property are damaged, the citizens will be paying twice. And there are certain things. Look at the burning of Lagos archives. Look at the basic laboratory that was burnt down. There are so many things in the law court that was burnt down, the High Court, or the High Court that was burned down in Lagos. There are so much records that cannot be recovered again, and that is invaluable. That is something you cannot quantify in terms of naira and kobo. And there's nobody that was held responsible among the law enforcement agencies, because there is laxity in some area. Even the attack on police stations and police divisions shouldn't have happened, because these policemen ought to have been on their guard, and civilians shouldn't have been able to overpower them. So that is a shame on the Nigerian police force. But then they should have learned their lessons, that it is abnormal for them to discourage people from protesting, then there will be bottled up anger. And that was what busted in 2020 at the EndSARS protest, because the then SARS were treating people without dignity. They violate your right to privacy, they violate your right to dignity, they violate the right to personal liberty, freedom from bodily harm, freedom from everything that we keep you, in subhuman level.
Okay.
Those are the things that got people angry.
Okay, yes.
And they vented out. And
Okay.
they ought to know before it
Yes,
happened,
yes.
because there was adequate notice.
Okay, I'll still come back to you. I'll still come back to you. Let me.
Bubble report.
Yes, I'll still come back to you. Let me just also link with my studio guest here, Celestine. What are the challenges really associated with human rights enforcement, and when it comes to enforcement and promotion in Nigeria? Because yes, either we like it or not, there are certain hindrances. What are some of these challenges that hinder enforcement and promotion of human rights in Nigeria?
There are a lot of factors that are hindering or promoting violation of human rights. And I will champion one. I will state categorically that the major factor I will consider here is lack of adequate training on the personnel. That even the majority of like the personnel, that police officers in question, military personnel, police. When I talk of, I'm talking about forces, government forces, agencies,
Law enforcement
law enforcement agencies that are supposed to protect these rights. They don't know their left and right when you talk of. When we're talking about fundamental human rights, look at the aspect of extrajudicial killing. These have been ringing bell. We have done everything humanly possible to stop it, but it's like unstoppable. You talk of arbitrary arrest and detention. These are big issues. They see this as business. So somebody, as the discussant is championing his own side. They see this as business, come to police. I tell you, when they see a lawyer,
police stations. Police stations. They see they turn it to business or what?
They turn police. Can you do anything with that money in Nigerian sector, police sector? When you talk of rights, can you do anything without paying money for it? Can you do anything with a police officer in Nigeria without paying for it?
But there is usually this
bail is free.
Bail is free. They do not pay to anybody.
That is for that is just. It should start from, if they want to be truthful to themselves, allow people to come to the station with their phones. Why do you collect phone at the gate? If you are free, if bail is free, allow people to come into the station with their phones. So because they are afraid of recording or some information going out, so that's why they're hiding those things. So everything about the whole system is upside down. Everything.
Well, let me ask you this question. How come the police give more respect to the lawyers when they say, oh, I'll contact my lawyer?
It was in the past too. It was in the past too, not the present case scenario. It was in the past, like 10 years ago. That's when you can say, if you come to the police station, police will say, they accord respect to you as a lawyer, but that does not deny the fact that they collect money from people. They collect money. In short, you can't even write a petition without paying for their approval. You can't. If you want to enforce those petitions, you pay for mobilization fee. So I'm not here to castigate the police, and the police is not the only angle. Customs are the worst bit. Their own. Okay. In this situation, if you buy a car now on your way to the southeast, I'm talking of southeast, you meet more than 17 or 18 custom checkpoints on the route. And every checkpoint you stop, they will tell you there's an underpayment. There's an underpayment on the vehicle you are conveying to the east or wherever you are going.
Could it be as a result of some vehicles that do not pass through the ports?
No.
Or they went
this underpayment is actually a payment that was made to the Nigerian customs. And you see, there's one there's one aspect of it they call it, if you bring a lot of goods in, they can give you concession to pay a particular amount of money. Okay. And that approval comes from Custom Control General. You apply for that application, that format. They will now bill you, give estimation of the cost of those vehicles or whatever you are bringing in, and you pay. After paying those money on the road, you will see custom officers on the road telling you that you are underpaying, that what you pay is underpayment, and despite the fact that there's an estimation of what you're supposed to pay. Like if you bring a vehicle, the customs will estimate that vehicle $2,000 or $1,000 as the case may be, and you are supposed to pay 25 or 35% what do you call it, duty on that vehicle. After that payment, on the road you see meet up to 17 checkpoints, custom officers. They will be collecting money as if that, and they'll be telling you there's corruption in the system. There's corruption from their office. If you want me to waste your time, I'll waste your time and take compound the vehicle. That's what we call market of VAT. People goes to car stand and buy a vehicle. You are still on the, this is violation of human rights.
Yes.
You people go to car stand, buy vehicles. On their way to their destination, you are there. These are innocent purchaser without notice. These are victims, end user. That bought product. Somebody will be on the road waiting for him. What's stopping you from implementing your policy? Are the roads our border? What are the customer officers on the road?
Okay, let me quickly come to Comrade Debo Adeniro as we round up now. Comrade, what your suggestions so that some of these things can reduce to the barest minimum? Because you are also saying that human rights abuses are virtually in every area. But what is your own suggestion? What's your advice as we round up in the next 1 minute?
Well, the first thing to do is to make all rights justiciable. You know, human rights are indivisible. They are fundamental. They are God-given. And the police should not turn themselves into the devil that sabotages God's provision. So the law should be strengthened. The Chapter 2 and Chapter 4 of the Nigerian Constitution should be made justiciable. People should have the right to education, to healthcare delivery, to owning property. They should have the right to food. Because if the people don't have good food, they fall sick. And of course, healthcare deliveries also falls in the social law that is not justiciable. Education should be made free. And as a matter of fact, the government should not limit the qualification to contest election to any educational level that they didn't provide for free for the citizenry.
Okay.
So everybody has the right to participate in the government or in the government of their own community, or their own country, or their own state, or their own local government.
Okay.
So it is the people that have the ultimate right to determine who leads them.
Okay.
Then the police should be reorientated to ensure that they are civil in orientation, in action, and in forms and in function.
Thank you so much.
People will be able to enjoy their rights.
Thank you so much.
In fullness.
Let me come to you as we round up.
Well, we should start with, firstly, with judicial reform, where justices and all the regalias of justice system should be held accountable. There should be a reform in that sector. And I expect security sector reform too. So where the people that are supposed to be handling these issues are educated on the implication of their actions, then there should be increase to access to judiciary. So the poverty eradication should be another big issue. So the level of poverty on ground is making people to think like animals. We are human beings. So, but when you don't, that's when you talk of dignity, is when you are comfortable with yourself, you start dignifying your efforts. But as a person, I believe that, and we're supposed to promote media freedom. So if we are not, if you don't have freedom of speech, even the media are skeptical about information that they dish out to the public, because the opinion of Nigerians will start counting when they are receiving the right informations from media houses. So if media houses are not dishing out the right information to the people, what would they be assessing? How would their mindset start changing? So I expect a lot of reforms, but you should start first of all with judicial reform, because I think everything is anchored on that. The angle of, okay, if you get a bad leader in the system and the judiciary is defending such faulty mandate, that is to say that the egg or the mother hen is about to lay a bad egg.
Okay, thank you so much. I think time is no longer on our side. Again, we would have loved to really talk more on this, but with this which we have said, I know that it will go a long way to further shape the society. I want to thank you so much, Comrade Debo Adeniro, the President of the Committee of the Defense of Human Rights, for coming on Talk Point on Lagos Television.
For having me.
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank you so much, Celestine Ilo, for being part of Talk Point today.
It's always a pleasure being in the house.
Yes, on that note, we have come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 still remain the lines to call in times of emergency. Stay out of trouble. Ensure that you contribute your own quota to the development of Nigeria and also indeed Lagos State, and everybody will get better. I am Omololu Rosanwo. See you some other time.